Do one of you want to share your screen?
I can share mine.
All right. Okay, and I'll make you the presenter. Okay. All right, so let's get started with 1A. So obviously we have a list of a bunch of part numbers, descriptions of parts, suppliers, material costs, inventory, shipping type, and lead time. So for A, we are wanting to make it so that we can put in a supplier and it will tell us how many items are supplied by that supplier, what the average material cost for that supplier is, and what the standard deviation is.
Okay, here's how I kind of set mine up. Got the supplier as an input field here in the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And then my data here, number of items provided, average and standard deviation for the material costs out to the side. Then in my data sheet, basically built a column that did an if statement that looked at the supplier with the input name compared to that. And then that would put a 1 if that's there. And then if it was not that, it would put nothing with the double quotes. So
Perfect.
And then on the average, I did the same thing. I did compare that to the supplier, if it's whatever the supplier name is again. And if it is that, then it will enter E5, which is the lead time, right? Yeah. No, average price?
No, we're still, yeah, so for the average, we're looking at the material cost, the average.
Material cost. So put in the material cost. And if it's not that supplier, it puts nothing in there. So I stuck with the nothing, the double quotes on everything.
Yeah, I think that's smart. That way it doesn't mess with your averages or standard deviations.
Right.
So for the average, or for the material costs, instead of just putting 1, you put the material cost cell, correct?
Right, because then I went to the bottom of the row and did an average and standard deviation of each row.
Yep. And I just did that under my summary sheet.
Did you put that in your summary sheet? Or you?
Yeah, I think that's what they were asking for.
So I should have done that calculation in the summary sheet then, you think?
In the summary sheet, uh-huh.
Okay, so I need to move that to my summary sheet. So, because I just did equals this cell on my summary sheet. So
yeah, go back to your summary sheet. I just want to see.
So this should be the calculator, the formula, not my equals that data.
Correct.
Then. So.
Yeah, because then when you change the supplier name, it'll change all 3 of those values to match what the supplier's number of items provided, the average cost, and the standard deviation. It'll change all of it. So try changing the supplier name.
Somebody tell me one of the supplier names. I can't remember.
Theta Power, Theta Power, Power.
Theta, Theta Power. So
if you hit enter,
mine changes because
they change on your data sheet.
That changes on my data sheet per the supplier.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Am I going to get in trouble because they'll think I didn't do that?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to mess with anything. I think you just kind of did that step twice, really. I mean.
Yeah, I didn't need to say copy this to that sheet. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just want an extra step I didn't need to do. You're right. So.
Yeah. So I think you should be fine there. So that's A, right?
Yeah.
Tucker, do you have the instructions pulled up? Do you want to read B?
I do. It says no. The following task B through D should be done for all items and not by supplier. So just remember that. B, have 4 cells on the summary sheet, each one with the label next to it reflecting each of the 4 shipping methods. In the 4 cells, calculate how many items are shipped with each respective method.
Okay, I did the same way. I guess I doubled up again. In my data sheet, I have columns here for each one of the shipping methods and totals at the bottom.
Perfect.
Per the input. I did input from the summary sheet, though, the name, because it wouldn't work by just putting, comparing. I couldn't put the word air in there, or rail, or truck, or something.
Right.
It wouldn't allow me, and I figured that out. You have to compare one cell to another, not a name to another. So,
right.
Okay.
So at the top of your spreadsheet here, keep going up. So these are, okay, so those are the shipping.
There's the methods. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I did, I put my, so it asks us to input the supply methods in the summary.
Right there.
So you got that. And then next to it, you would, what I did was just, I did the sum function. I did what you did for the data. I did the if.
Right. Yeah, I should have done it in this cell instead of double my workup.
Yeah, it's just one less step. And then same for the lead time.
Right.
You just do an average function for the data that you compile. Now, did you have to do, because I was going to just keep my, I did a column for each shipping method.
I did too.
And then I did it again for the average lead time. Did you do that as well?
I did also. I made a last column here.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, that's my grader.
Oh. So
that's
were
my
you
grader then. So you said average for all of them? Is there supposed to be a total average? Or just per shipping method?
So it's the average lead time, which you've got there. You've got the lead time for air. That's correct. I'm just wondering, because I was just wondering if I tried to use the same cells for the totals and the average lead time, I was thinking that would mess it up because I was using those cells.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just did 2 formulas back on my data sheet for each column. So at the bottom here, since I did it that long way, I have one for just the counts, and then I have another row for my averages.
I see.
So
okay.
I did use the same.
In your columns here above that, are you doing if statements there too?
Yeah, they're all if G240 equals the summary sheet, and I've anchored it to that name.
Perfect.
And
then
compared that to
your
H240.
Okay, so basically you're just saying if it says truck on the summary, then put in 14 there. If not, then just put a blank.
Yeah, if it says truck, put in the lead time.
Gotcha.
So for truck,
then don't.
Then nothing. Yeah. So
right.
then at the bottom, I did the sum of lead times, and then I did the average of the lead times. So, which, like you said, you could have done that on the other sheet. Use the same column data.
Now, wait a minute. Because I thought, how did we get the same?
Did we get the same numbers?
Yeah, we did, but I don't. Because I thought we had to do. Oh yeah, okay, you did. Because we're just counting how many.
The quantity, yeah. How many items go by air?
Exactly.
And I did a count function for that.
And then the average lead time. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and instead of numbers, 111, I did a count function for that column,
Oh, okay.
That way how many columns have a number or, in it. So
I did the 111.
you did the ones and then you did the lead time again? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
See, I skipped a step on that one, so.
Yeah, I was kind of confused about that. I was thinking that there would probably be an easier way, but
yeah, the count.
Oh, okay. So you did. I see now what you're talking about with the.
Yeah, I did one column for each
times, and so you're taking how many lead times there were, calculates one item shipped, basically.
Yeah. So here, this has a number in it. So when I go to the bottom of the row, I did a count function of those cells. Of if there's something in that cell, it would count it. So
okay, cool.
As one,
Right.
It doesn't sum them up. It just counts it. So
right.
Counts it. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, that came to my mind, so I did it that way. But
yeah, well, that's a good way to do it. Cool. So
that way, I only had one column of data.
You just did the one.
Yeah. So mine instead of showing the
you did like over here.
The lead time in each of the cells, like in column P, instead of showing the lead times for what is that error, it just said 1 in each of those boxes.
Okay.
And then I created another 4 columns
and
for
with
a rail truck and option with the lead times.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, so you had double the data here that I did. So.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
I think we'll move on to C.
Okay.
Yeah.
David,
C is talking about average lead times for all items that are shipped with each respective method.
Okay,
so but it also we talked a little bit about that, but the second half of C is to create a graph that shows the average lead time for each of the 4 shipping methods.
Awesome. Mine is the vertical graph.
Yeah, I chose this one and then found whatever shading looked good. Labeled the axes, and axes. There we go. I guess I should change that from. Should say average lead
time in days.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would put days in.
I have lead time in days down here.
Oh, there you have it down there.
So
okay.
That's what.
I guess I should probably add my.
Yeah, axes. I keep getting a note on my projects. Make sure I label my axes.
Oh, I would get a note if I didn't do that.
So even though you may think it's intuitive, that's what the guy, whoever's grading my stuff, says. So.
Good point. I'm going to add mine in right now. Okay, so then D, I didn't get to D, so I'm curious to see.
All right, D, the user should be able to enter a price, which here I've got the price. You can put in whatever you want, $10, let's say, and it'll tell you how many items are above $10 is how I read it.
Okay.
So if it's $10, it's not counted. Because the statement says how many items are price that is higher than
chosen price limit.
Yeah.
Chosen price limit. So what's your formula there? Are you calculating that in that cell? Are you pulling it in?
No, I pulled it in again. Well, I did it back here. So here I did a formula that said E5, which is the price, has to be greater than, and I labeled my cell the limit.
Okay.
And if it's greater than that limit, then it equals 1, counted it as 1. Right. And if it doesn't, then it's blank. So then at the bottom.
Why did you name it limit?
I was just being funny. You know how you can name cells?
Oh, I see.
That way you can just refer to it on other pages.
Okay. So limit is referring to
that input.
your input.
The summary input.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
And then down here, I just have a total.
So
How many items is where it refers to this cell right here.
that's not too bad.
Gotcha.
So that's why when you put in whatever number, 50, there's 12 items over 50, yeah. Or whatever.
Cool.
But,
And then that should pretty much be it, right? Then the rest
yeah,
of it.
then you go through your standards of
Professionalism.
You know, whatever. Get rid of your grid lines, do your spell check, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
There. Make sure your input cells are marked somehow. You know.
I would color your background.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay, so there.
You'll have to recolor your input cells.
But yeah, that's right. It will. So if I go there and say,
just pick a neutral color, whatever it is. I think I did a green one on my.
So then I'm gonna have to go in here and go blue and blue, something like that. There, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, they just don't want it to be black and white. Basically, they want it to kind of look more like a dashboard online, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or a website.
Yep.
So my question is, do I go back and change my things and put the formulas here, or is they going to catch me on that? You know?
I don't know.
Are they going to click here and go, what's this guy doing? This equals the data.
You're still doing the formulas.
Yeah, I did what they said, but
doing it all on one page and then, from the summary, referencing those.
I would put the formulas in the summary sheet.
So bring them up into here. Save that step. I'm doing an extra step. That's what we're all trying to learn, is how to save time, right?
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah. Okay. So
I see it both ways, but yeah, I mean, for just to be on the safe side kind of thing, I would put your formulas on the summary page.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll have to go back.
And I think that's what they did in the assignment anyway. So
yeah,
as long as you're kind of following what the assignment is showing, then it should be good.
Right. Yeah, okay. And I think technically that falls under the standard of professionalism of always putting your formulas in the cells.
Okay. Yeah, don't hard code something, I guess. Isn't that the word? Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would fall into that, I would think.
Yeah, I think if it had copied the formula, it'd be fine. But since it's not showing the formula there.
No, it's just showing a look at this cell. Yeah.
You might be able to special paste the formula.
Yeah, I'll have to try that.
There.
Let me save this so I don't mess everything up. And I will do that after we hang up, so I don't swear on our thing here.
All right.
You don't want to be recorded using that kind of language.
All right, I'll go ahead and stop the broadcast.
That's all right.
I think we're just about finished up. So, is there any other questions anybody else has?
How'd you do on your exam? You feel you did, I guess.
I think I did okay.
You know, it wasn't as explanatory as I thought it was going to be.
Same.
It took me longer than I thought it was going to take.
Yeah. Me too.
For especially all, the research, I mean, that was extensive.
Yeah.
Right.
But really, I mean,